Okay, stepsons, in this video I'm going to show you how to rig a fishing pole from scratch for fishing in a stream. Let's get started. First of all, you've got different types of fishing poles, usually just length. This one happens to be called the ugly stick, and it's one of our favorites. This one's a shorter one, but it's got a two-piece one. You put the two together. When you're putting a pole together like that, you want to make sure that the eyes, these are the eyes, are lined up with the bottom of the reel so that it comes straight this way. In other words, you don't want it like this, where the eyes are on top from where the reel is on the bottom. So it's going to be like that. Another pole, two-piece pole, same thing. When you're putting the two pieces together, you got to make sure that the eyes are lined up. When it comes to fishing reels, this is the reel. This is a closed face reel. Here's another closed face reel. I got three closed face reels here, but what I use most of the time is an open face reel. This one's already rigged, so I'm going to show you on one of the other ones. The rigging is the same regardless of whether it's an open face or closed face, but they work differently. If you need to let line out on a closed face, then you press the button on the bottom and that releases it, and then when you reel, as soon as you start reeling, it stops it from coming out again. So if you want to let line out, you press the bottom. Seems a little easier. I prefer the open face. I feel like I've got more control on that one. So this is my current rig already. This is, we're here camping. There's a stream right behind me. We've been fishing this morning. I've got a sinker up here. I've got a swivel here, and then the hook is on that. I'm going to show you how to set that whole thing up. This one has a bunch of line on it, but nothing on it. I'm going to get the end of this line. We're going to tie a swivel onto this, and then we'll put a hook on that, and then we'll put some sinkers on it. If the swivel is too big to go through this end eyelet, then you need to thread it through first. The swivel I'm going to use is this little guy here, and he actually fits through that last eyelet. So I don't have to thread the line first. So I'm just going to tie this on here. Here's the swivel. It has a clamp on this side, and then that lets the hook end spin without twisting the line above. Some fishermen don't use these, others do. I always did because that's what I was taught. So we're going to tie that on first. Something called a fisherman's knot. Probably have to see this one close up. All right, I'm going to attempt a close-up of the fisherman's knot. We have this tiny swivel. We are going to put this thread through twice. So it's going to go through the hole once. Bring it through probably 3 inches. Put it back through again. So you're actually making 2 loops. So you've got a loop, goes through, loops, and goes through again. And then you bring the 2 lines up, and then you're going to twist the one around the other one. So you twist it through at least 3 times, preferably 5 times. And the hardest part about this is holding everything in position while you do the twisting. So now I've got a double loop. I have the loose end right here. I've got the double loops. I'm going to put it back through both double loops, and then once it's poking through, I want to grab that end here. So now I'm going to pull on this loose end, grab it with my teeth, and pull it tight. And pull this part while we stop this part from going back through the loops. Pull it good and snug. That extra line right there will get in the way when we're casting and reeling, and it'll snag on stuff. So we're going to cut it off. If we cut it too close to the swivel, it might untie. So we want maybe 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch left on that. I'll cut it about right there, So I've got that little piece. That's probably on the short end. Again, the way to test it is to just pull. If it comes undone, then we've got to do it again. But I'm probably good with that. That's probably as short as you would want to go. That is the Fisherman knot close up. So now the swivel's on there. That lets me just put a hook. If you buy a hook like this, then these come with a loop on the end and a leader. The fish line that goes from the hook to the swivel is called the leader. And so we just clamp that on. And then on the other end, we'll pinch a sinker. And I've got sinkers right here. You need a little bit of weight to keep it through the flow of the water. This stream that I'm fishing in now is not a high-moving stream. There's only a few spots where it goes fast. If I have a lot of weight, it's going to go right to the bottom, and then you get snags and rocks sometimes. If you don't have enough weight, then it just skims along the top. You put your worm or whatever bait you're using, it's going to skim along the top. And so you need the right amount of weight for the water when you're stream fishing that you're going to use. Before I put the sinker on, I'm going to go ahead and thread this through the eyelets now. And so it goes up from the bottom through each of these. And now we can put the sinker on. Well, I'm going to come up here and put a sinker maybe about a foot, 18 inches, 12 to 18 inches above the swivel. These are made with clamps on the back side with an opening where the line can go between the opening and then two parts that stick off the backside that you can pinch to open it to take it off when you want to take it off. Pliers, crucial tool to have in your tackle box for fishing. Not only regular pliers, but in fact, if you're only going to have one pair of pliers, you probably want some needle nose pliers because these work better for getting down in the mouth of a fish if you're trying to get a hook out. So I'm going to pinch this on, and with the slot, I just put the line through the slot that's on there and then pinch it closed. And now the weight's on there 12, 14 inches above the swivel. And when I put the hook on, one of the tricks about getting the hooks out is just getting one hook. Because when you grab them and start pulling it out, it wants to pull the others out too. So I kind of put my finger on there to get past the other ones, and now I've got it out. And that's not a huge hook. So if I'm going to put worm on this, it's going to be a small piece of worm, and that would be appropriate for this one. You don't have to use worms. I know that's the part that some people don't like, putting a worm on a hook. But that goes right in because it's already got the leader on it, and it's tied off with a loop. You just put the loop right in the little clamp of this type of a swivel, and then pinch it closed so that it won't come off while you're fishing. And now I've got the hook, I've got the weight, I've got the swivel, I've got the pole set up. I'm really ready, other than putting bait on my hook, to go ahead and go fishing now. So that is how you rig a pole to fish in a stream. If you've ever been fishing, then let me know if you enjoyed it, if you liked it, what you didn't like about it. If you haven't had a chance to do it, then I encourage you to give it a shot sometime. Always remember, 2 messages from every video that I do. You can succeed. You can actually even have fun in life, even though your dad may not be part of your daily life. Hopefully you have a good relationship with him, whatever it is. If you don't, know that you can succeed anyway. And the second one, always remember that your stepdad loves you. I'll see you in the next video. I gotta give a caveat here. I'm not a professional fisherman. This is stepdad fishing, okay? So you can, if you want to be a pro, you're going to be looking up other YouTube channels about how to fish. I didn't need glasses when I was a kid doing this. This reel sucks. Ugh.